When I met Vanessa, I thought destiny herself smiled upon my pitiful existence. I, Marcus Clay, a nobody accountant hidden behind gray cubicles, managed to marry a woman who looked like she stepped straight from a dream. Our marriage sparkled. Dinners by candlelight, kisses under thunderstorms, vacations to secret beaches where we made love until the sun scolded us. Every year on our anniversary, we revisited the place we first kissed, a modest rooftop overlooking an endless city of lights. 10 years slipped by, golden, flawless, until this one. Vanessa insisted we celebrate differently this year. Said life had become stale, mundane. Her words rattled my brain like loose bullets inside a rusted revolver. I want something unforgettable, she whispered, lips brushing my ear, voice like silk dipped in poison. I leaned back, searching her emerald eyes. She smiled wider, flashing perfect teeth. Anything, I promised. I always promised her anything. 1 week later, she dropped her bombshell. I want permission to sleep with another man, she said. First, I laughed. Surely, she joked. Vanessa loved dark humor, edgy pranks. But she didn't laugh. Her eyes stayed serious, wide, waiting. I need to feel new skin, she said. New hands. Just once. An anniversary experience. My gut twisted. Breath evaporated. I couldn't speak. She continued. No emotions. Just lust. We stay married. Stronger than ever. The room swirled. Our living room, once cozy, felt alien. I stumbled toward the kitchen, grabbing a whiskey bottle without asking if she wanted any. Poured until the glass threatened overflow. You can't mean this, I rasped. I do, she said. I watched her. Really watched. Her posture screamed confidence. Her lips, slightly parted, begged understanding. Her dress, barely clinging to her curves, dared me to argue. I hated how my body responded despite my rage. I drained the whiskey. Poured another. Who? I demanded. She shrugged. Someone handsome. Maybe that guy from my gym. Or a stranger. Each word stabbed deeper. I smashed the glass against the counter. She flinched but didn't apologize. Instead, she crossed the room, placing a hand against my chest. I felt heat radiate between us. Baby, she purred, it's just sex. Her words insulted everything sacred between us. Yet, somewhere in my poisoned brain, an ember of curiosity flickered. A filthy, guilty part of me wanted to know what she'd do. How she'd look with another man. That night, I slept on the couch, dreams haunted by faceless bodies and Vanessa's moans, moans that weren't for me. Morning came gray and ugly. I stayed silent. She stayed smiling. 2 days passed. Then 3. Friday arrived. She approached me wearing lingerie I hadn't seen before, black lace barely covering anything. Her heels clicked against the hardwood. Tonight, she said. I stared at her, feeling like a ghost watching a life that wasn't mine anymore. You agreed, she reminded. I hadn't. Not truly. But my silence must have sounded like permission. She kissed my cheek. Left lipstick there like a brand. By evening, she transformed herself into a goddess no mortal man could resist. Tight dress, crimson lips, hair cascading down her back like molten gold. Don't wait up, she said. And then she vanished into the night. I stood alone in our living room, tasting bile and betrayal. Anger boiled inside, but so did something worse, arousal. Shameful, disgusting arousal. I hated myself. I poured more whiskey. Hours dragged. Midnight chimed. Then 2. No sign of her. I stared at our wedding photo, drunken eyes struggling to focus. Her smile mocked me. My own face, beside hers, looked young, stupid, so damned happy. A car door slammed outside. My heart thudded. The front door creaked open. Vanessa stumbled inside, heels dangling from one hand, hair wild, dress crumpled. Her eyes met mine. No guilt. Only triumph. She crossed the room, unzipping her dress without ceremony. It fell at her feet. No panties. No bra. Bruises littered her thighs, hand-shaped, angry purple. My stomach clenched. She smirked. Happy anniversary, baby. Then she sauntered past me, up the stairs, into our bedroom. Alone in the dark, I realized something unfixable broke inside me tonight. I finished the bottle, passed out on the floor. Morning light jabbed my eyes like icy needles. I woke sprawled across the hardwood, head pounding, tongue thick with whiskey residue. For a moment I forgot everything. Then her scent floated down the staircase. Vanilla, sweat, another man, and the memories sliced back into me. I dragged myself upright. My legs wobbled like I'd aged 20 years overnight. Somehow, I climbed the steps, every board creaking betrayal beneath my weight. Our bedroom door stood ajar. I pushed it wider. Inside, Vanessa lay sprawled across tangled sheets, bare, shameless, glowing. Bruises mapped her thighs, scratches marred her hips. Her neck bore a crimson bite mark. I gagged. She stirred, yawning like a cat stretching after a satisfying hunt. Good morning, she purred. I gripped the doorframe, steadying my shaking body. You disgust me, I croaked. She laughed, light and airy, as if I'd complimented her. I feel incredible, she said. Liberated. Reborn. Tears burned behind my eyes, but I refused to let them fall. You cheated, I said. You agreed, she countered, shrugging. I never said yes. You didn't say no. Venom coated her words, sweet yet deadly. She patted the bed beside her. Come here. Let's reconnect. Rage flooded my veins. I shook my head violently. Her smile faded slightly, replaced by a glint of annoyance. Marcus, she said, voice softer, this is who I am now. I need more. More. I echoed dumbly. She sat up, breasts bare, unabashed. She looked beautiful. She looked monstrous. I want an open marriage, she said. The words hung in the air, thick, ugly. You can't be serious, I whispered. I'm dead serious. I backed away like she'd pulled a knife. She slid from the bed, sauntered toward me naked, hips swaying. We'll be happier, she promised. You'll see. You can have flings too. Young girls. Hot little things. Her hand touched my chest again, searing my skin. I don't want anyone else, I hissed. You will, she said. Eventually. I stared into her eyes. I didn't recognize the woman inside them anymore. That afternoon, she made pancakes, humming like nothing happened. She wore a flowery apron over nothing else, but cheeks peeking out with every playful movement. I couldn't eat. She piled my plate anyway, kissing my forehead. Later, she showed me a website. Couples Seeking Freedom, blared across the screen in neon letters. Profiles flashed. Smiling men, lusty women, open promises. Vanessa created our profile without consulting me. Uploaded a picture of us from 3 summers ago, laughing, tanned, oblivious. Within hours, messages poured in. She read them aloud while sipping wine. This guy's a firefighter, she said. Look at those arms. This one's offering a weekend getaway in Cabo. She giggled like a teenager. I tuned her out, staring at the framed wedding vows hanging crookedly on our wall. That night, she went out again. Wore a tiny red dress, no panties. I might stay at his place, she said at the door, winking. I didn't respond. I sat alone afterward, crushing whiskey bottle after whiskey bottle. Around midnight, I broke. I opened the website on my own. Created a secret profile. No picture. Just a desperate bio. Lost man seeking distraction. Within minutes, women messaged me. One stood out. Her name was Sloane. Her profile showed nothing but a pair of glossy black boots and a single line. I destroy married men. I should have deleted it. I should have shut the laptop. Instead, I typed back, destroy me. Sloane replied instantly. Address, she demanded. My fingers trembled as I sent it. Half an hour later, a knock sounded at the door. I opened it. Sloane walked in without waiting for an invitation. Tall, pale, red lips, black leather jacket hugging her body. No smile. You're Marcus, she said. It wasn't a question. I nodded, speechless. She peeled her jacket off. Underneath, a sheer black dress clung to her like liquid shadows. "No rules tonight," she said. I nodded again. Before I could speak, she shoved me against the wall, kissing me brutally. Her mouth tasted like danger. I kissed back harder. Vanessa's face floated across my mind, mocking, daring. I buried the thought under Sloane's urgent tongue. Clothes vanished. Breathless, we crashed into the couch, into each other. Sloane was not gentle. She scratched, bit, demanded. I gave everything. Screamed Vanessa's name once by accident. Sloane slapped me hard. "Wrong woman," she hissed. I didn't care. I wanted punishment. I wanted oblivion. Hours blurred. When it ended, I lay naked, gasping, heart hammering. Sloane stood, slipped her dress back on. "You'll call me again," she said, voice certain. Then she left, without a goodbye. I stayed there, broken, filthy, hollow. The house smelled like sex and regret. Morning bled gray light across the ruins of my living room. Vanessa came home whistling. Found me naked under a crumpled blanket. She laughed. "Guess you're getting the hang of it," she said. No jealousy. No anger. Only glee. She dropped a pair of panties in my lap. "They're not mine," she said. "Found them in your car." She blew me a kiss and floated upstairs, humming again. I crushed the panties in my fist, hating everything. Hating her. Hating myself. Later that day, she showed me pictures. Herself sandwiched between two men, both shirtless, sweaty. Another shot, her riding one while the other kissed her throat. I wanted to tear the phone from her hands. Instead, I stared blankly, soul leaking out of me. "You could join next time," she offered sweetly. I shook my head. She shrugged. "Soon you'll beg me for it," she said, sipping wine. And deep down, in some rotting pit of my soul, I feared she was right. Days melted together, a thick stew of lust, shame, and silence. I floated through routines without recognizing my own face in mirrors anymore. Vanessa thrived. She wore sluttier dresses, posted thirst traps on social media, brought strange perfumes home, unfamiliar bruises, jewelry I never bought. I stopped asking. One night, she introduced a man named Evan. Taller than me. Younger. Muscles hard under tight clothes. A tattoo snaking up his throat. "This is my Friday date," she said casually while sipping margaritas on our porch. Evan nodded at me, smiling like a wolf. I grunted, turned away. Vanessa only laughed. As they left, his hand slid down her back, fingers hooking her waistband possessively. I watched until their car disappeared down the street, heart burning in my ribcage. Later, I texted Sloane. "Need you." "Door unlocked," she replied instantly. I drove like a madman through sleeping neighborhood. Storm clouds brewed overhead. Rain lashed the street. When I arrived, Sloane yanked me inside without a word. She wore a black corset and thigh-high boot. Her condo smelled of leather, whiskey, and wet roses. Sloane didn't bother with tenderness. She shoved me against the wall again, tearing open my jeans, devouring me like prey. Her nails carved trails down my chest. Her teeth left angry welt. I gave myself to her, body and soul. She pulled hair, called me filthy names, ordered me to beg. I obeyed, desperate, pathetic. Afterward, we lay on the cold floor. Sloane lit a cigarette, not offering me one. "You like pain now," she observed. I said nothing. She smirked. "You're still thinking about her." I flinched. "Forget her," Sloane said, voice low, dangerous. "She's forgotten you." She stood, straddled me again, grinding rough, making me scream. "She doesn't love you anymore," Sloane whispered. The words cut deeper than her nails ever could. I stumbled home near dawn, body aching, heart blackened. Vanessa wasn't home. Her side of the bed remained untouched. I collapsed on the mattress, stared at the ceiling until sleep swallowed me whole. Dreamed of Sloane's boot. Vanessa's laughter. My own voice, screaming underwater. The next afternoon, Vanessa breezed through the door, tossing shopping bags everywhere. "Got new toys," she chirped. "Dildos. Handcuffs. Bottles of lube." She spread them across the coffee table proudly. I barely blinked. She pouted. "You're no fun anymore," she said. I laughed bitterly. "You destroyed fun," I said. "Burned it to the ground." She waved a hand dismissively. "You need another date with your little goth slut," she said. "Get the poison out." I stared at her. Hated her. Loved her. Wanted her dead. Wanted her screaming under me again. Conflicting urges tore at my insides. I showered, scrubbing skin raw, trying to wash her scent away. Didn't work. Would never work. Another week slithered by. Vanessa vanished most nights, sometimes returning just before sunrise, hair messy, mascara smudged like war paint. Other times, she didn't return at all. I stopped waiting. I texted Sloane more. Sometimes, I didn't even bother texting. I just showed up at her place. She always let me in. No words. Only violence disguised as passion. One night, she tied my hands above my head, blindfolded me, rode me until I forgot my name. Afterward, she whispered, "You're mine now." And I believed her. Anything to forget the woman wearing my wedding ring. A month after Vanessa's anniversary betrayal, she dropped another bomb. "I want to move in, Evan," she said casually over breakfast, munching toast. I choked on coffee. "You what?" I barked. She giggled. "He needs a place. You barely notice me anymore. Fair trade." I slammed my mug down, shattering it. "Get out," I said, voice shaking. She blinked innocently. "You don't mean that." "I fucking do." She cocked her head, studying me. "You're so dramatic," she said. "Pack your shit," I growled. Her lips curled into a mocking smile. "No," she said simply. And just like that, she wandered upstairs, humming some pop song, leaving bloody footprints across my soul. That night, Evan came over anyway. He and Vanessa drank on the porch, laughing too loud. I sat inside, fists clenched, jaw locked. Couldn't take it anymore. I stormed outside. "Get the fuck off my property," I shouted at Evan. He stood slowly, smirking. "You gonna make me, old man?" Before I knew it, fists flew. Punches landed. Pain exploded across my ribs. I swung wildly, caught Evan in the jaw. He stumbled, spat blood. Vanessa screamed. Neighbors turned on porch lights. Dogs barked. Sirens wailed far off. Finally, Evan backed away, flipping me off as he staggered down the sidewalk. Vanessa glared at me like I'd kicked her puppy. "You're pathetic," she hissed. "This is why I needed him." I laughed, broken, hollow. "You needed someone to fuck the emptiness inside you," I said. Her slap cracked across my cheek. We stood panting, facing each other under cold stars. Neither willing to back down. Finally she turned. Went inside. Slammed the door. I slept in my car that night, forehead pressed against the steering wheel. Dreamed about Sloane. Dreamed about Vanessa, chained and begging. Dreamed about dying. When I woke, the sun was cruelly bright. I made a decision. Final. Unchangeable. I walked into the house. Vanessa lay sprawled naked on the couch, an empty wine bottle dangling from limp fingers. I didn't touch her. Didn't speak. I packed a single suitcase. Essentials only. Laptop. Passport. 2 changes of clothes. Nothing else mattered. At the door, I looked back one last time. She didn't stir. Didn't notice. Didn't care. I left the keys on the counter. Walked out. Walked away. Walked toward something unknown. Anything had to be better than staying. Freedom didn't feel like fireworks or sunshine. It felt like emptiness. Numb, cold, infinite emptiness. I rented a crappy motel room on the edge of town. Yellow wallpaper peeled from damp walls. The bed sagged in the middle. A single bare bulb buzzed overhead. Perfect. I didn't deserve comfort. 4 days I stayed inside. Ate greasy takeout. Drank cheap whiskey. Ignored the blinking notifications piling up on my phone. Most were from Vanessa. First came sweet texts. "Come home. We can fix this." Then guilt trips. "I was only doing what you couldn't." Finally, venom. "You'll die alone, loser." I blocked her number, blocked her existence. But her ghost lingered. Everything smelled like her, sounded like her, hurt like her. Sloane texted once. New house. Different games. You coming? I almost answered. Almost said yes. Almost drowned myself in her again. But something inside me refused. Something small, weak, flickering. Something that wanted to heal instead of bleed. I got a job bartending at a dive called the Rusted Nail. Cash under the table. Long hours. Anonymous faces. Perfect. I poured drinks for bikers, loners, broken souls. Heard their stories. Added my own silent screams to theirs. Nights blurred. Fists flew sometimes. I mopped blood without blinking. Women flirted. I smiled emptily. Went home alone every night. Proud of my loneliness. Proud of my pain. Proud of not crawling back. One rainy afternoon, 6 months later, she appeared. Vanessa. In the bar. Wearing tight jeans, leather jacket, sunglasses despite the storm outside. I froze. She slid onto a stool, smirking. Miss me? She purred. I said nothing. Wiped the same spot on the counter until my knuckles ached. She ordered a whiskey. I poured it mechanically. She sipped, watching me like a snake sizing up prey. You look awful, she said. You look desperate, I said. Her smile faltered for a second. She leaned closer. I miss you, she whispered. I don't miss you, I answered. Simple truth. She tried to laugh. It came out cracked, broken. I left Evan, she blurted. Not my problem. She leaned closer, lips brushing my ear. Remember how good it was, she whispered. The way I screamed your name? I stepped back. Her perfume suffocated me. Sweet poison. Old addiction. Old death. I shook my head. You screamed everyone's name, I said. Her face crumpled, just for a heartbeat. Then she recovered. Mask snapping back into place. You'll regret this, she hissed. I shrugged. Already regretted you, I said. She threw the whiskey in my face. The bar laughed. I didn't even blink. Watched her storm out into the rain, vanishing like a bad dream. I wiped whiskey from my eyes. Smiled for the first time in months. Weeks passed. No more ghosts. No more chains. One night, after last call, a woman named Eliza wandered in. New face. No baggage in her smile. She ordered tea, not whiskey. Talked about books, not parties. Listened. Really listened. I told her pieces of my story. Not all. Not yet. She didn't flinch. Didn't judge. Only smiled sadly. I've been broken too, she said. We sat there until sunrise, talking about nothing and everything. For the first time, I felt something other than rage. Hope. Tiny. Fragile. But real. I didn't fall into Eliza's bed that night. Or the next. Or the next. We built something slower. Gentler. Something built on ashes and scars. Maybe it would crumble someday. Maybe not. Didn't matter. I was building again. Breathing again. Living again. Without Vanessa. Without the poison. Without needing destruction to feel alive. Sometimes I still dream about her. Vanessa. Sloane. Evan. The whole filthy mess. Wake up sweating, heart pounding. But when I roll over, Eliza's warmth chases the nightmares away. When the morning light hits her sleeping face, I remember. I walked away. I survived. I chose life over lust. Chose dignity over destruction. Chose myself. Finally. At last. Forever.